Hey, welcome to the Heart of David. Um, I'm going to speak the truth regardless. I didn't expect to make this video to a reaction to two people, or it's probably rather three people, saying things to each other. Um, and it has a lot to do with the stuff that I've been saying lately about you can look back at my videos. Stop using the title Chosen Ones. Stop using the title Chosen Ones. It's disrespectful. Even if you are chosen by God, it's not good to go and do that. Um, you don't see prophets in the Bible going around saying prophet, prophet, prophet. It discourages other people. Look back at my other video. Why? It has a tendency to make people feel jealous that you're more special. And I'm going to say it, but I have to say my personal message first. So this is both to Marc the Messenger and Terry Joel Jr. And I've watched both your channels, and I've got inspiration from both your channels. And I'm going to tell you the truth because I live by the truth. I'm a born-again Christian, so Marc, you can't really, well, you can say whatever you want, but I'm going to speak the truth regardless of what I hear. And I hope this gets to you guys. So that's going to come in a few minutes. I'm going to speak about something else. I went to make a video I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 days ago, and as I was doing it, like my computer, it didn't crash, but it was like something similar, and I couldn't get in. Like I was completely locked out of my computer while I was making a video, and so I was pretty upset, and so it got to the point where I'm on a new computer now. I had it in my closet just in case something ever, happened, like a very similar computer, and so I had to reconfigure the whole thing. So it's basically like a factory reset. That's what I did, and so I got it all set up. Had to, put all the stuff, bring stuff over. Like just like go in, reinstall, endless. And so I got my computer back, and then I lost it again. And anyways, it turned out that I the sign-in page, my caps lock key was permanently on, and it was an app that was doing it because I was trying to disable caps lock, but it turned it on. And on the sign-in page for Microsoft, if you have that on, like you turn on your computer and that's on, you're screwed. And I couldn't get on-screen keyboard. So anyways, so here I'm back. I have two computers running now, and so yeah, I've been wanting to make a video. I've been wanting to do Bandicam. I use this system called Bandicam, and it does videos. It does web. Like you can see my face on the screen at the same time. This computer, for some reason, cannot handle it, even though it's faster. I don't know. I'm gonna try to make a video later on King David, and that's the topic I want to talk about right now quickly. And so if I make a video and I release it later, and it's kind of messed up, I'll eventually get to the point where I'm making good videos, but it's because I can't toggle correctly between windows, so I have to press Shift Tab. Yeah, where was that? Just give me a sec here. I've been reading. I love King David. Okay, I love King David for a variety of reasons, and there's a reason why Jesus mentioned his name. There's a reason why he's going to be the prince forever in heaven, or the, the 1,000-year reign. I don't know what goes beyond that, but it was because of just the whole range of things. I think it was because of David's mercy. David's mercy. So I just want to talk about some things. In 2 Samuel, there's a lot of places where there's a lot of confusion. You would think it was, they say one thing and then it's just very strange. What did I write down here? Okay, so the first one is, what's his name? Jonathan's son, David's friend Jonathan, who died, his son Mephibosheth, I think it is. Anyways, he was lame in his feet, right? And now, actually, first I want to say, but it has to do with this. When King David went to attack the Jebusites in Jerusalem, and they said, what did they say? The lame and the deaf could repel him, and David, it says in there, in a mocking manner, he says something back, and it's taken the wrong way. I don't know. I'm not going to read it on here because I want to get to that. But like the final conclusion of that was, like, people think that what David said back was that there will never be a lame and a deaf ever again in the house of David, or sorry, in the temple or whatever. And that's not what that means. What that meant, it had to do with that specific battle, and it's King David mocking them. So it just had to do with that situation. You can see how things get out of control. What else was there? So, yes. When, who were they? The rest of the Ammonites, was it? This isn't 2 Samuel. It could be 21 or around there. They, those people were so mauled by the house of Saul, and they called him bloodthirsty. And King David said, "What can I do to you to smooth things over?" And they said, "We want 7 people from the house of Saul, so we can hang them because they wanted to destroy us from the earth." And so they gave him 7 people, and it says, but David spared Mephibosheth, who David, by the way, obviously he didn't mean that about he would never have people in his house, because he invited him to his table continually for the rest of his life. It was Jonathan's son. Remember, Jonathan and David had an oath together. And Jonathan and David, remember what David wrote in the end after Jonathan died? His love surpassed the love of a woman. That's what brothers are like. And I see brothers disputing each other. I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm getting out of breath. I'm going to have to take a break, then I'll get to it. But it says that David spared. Okay, so in the same paragraph, that may be 21, 2 Samuel 21, it says that David would spare Jonathan's son, Mephibosheth. I may have that name wrong. But then it says, but the son of, what was it, Michal, the one that loved David and then despised him later. It says something like, anyways, it says Mephibosheth's name again, but it says with the name of Saul. It's something like that, and that's they don't distinguish that. They don't say anything further. They're 2 different people with the same names. That's all it is. I love hermeneutics. That's what I do now. When I read the Bible, I make sure that when I'm reading scripture every morning, or whenever I am reading, especially in the morning, if I don't understand something, I'll go into the hermeneutics of it right away. Just the understanding of it. What else? I have another one. I'm going to take a break. Give me a sec. Catch my breath. I have difficulty with speaking. It's about Absalom, and then I'm going to get to these people disputing each other, because I know the truth, okay? I know the truth because I've watched them both right from their beginnings. I don't really want to make videos like this anymore. It's much easier for me to sit down so I can breathe better because of my abdomen. But I know like my face quality is better on here, obviously. But it's hard to do videos. It really is. I suffer with a lot of stones, so and just a lot of abdominal pain. Absalom. Remember Tamar? David didn't punish, what was his name? Amnon, the eldest son of David, didn't punish him for having his way with Tamar. So incest. Excuse me. And Absalom was her brother. And like 2 years later, Absalom invited all the king's sons, and then I forget exactly how it happened. I'd have to read it. That's why I'm better with doing video sitting down, because I'll bring up those on the screen. So what was it? Absalom got really mad because David, it didn't say that right away, but because David didn't do anything about it. And, he felt like there was no justice. And what Absalom would do is he would sit in the king's gate, and I didn't realize this until I read the hermeneutics of it, that he would sit in the king's gate, and as people came along to, people who need to be judged by David, he would do it. And he won their hearts, because he would say, well, I'll do justice. I will do justice. I will do justice, because he felt like King David was just being so lenient. And so, what was it? What happened? Someone came and gave word to David and said, your son Absalom is, remember, he was the best looking in all of Israel. And his hair or something like that too. They said he's won the hearts, and David fled because he was building up Absalom was building up a conspiracy to take over. David had to leave and all that kind of stuff, and he was just Absalom. They eventually met on the battlefield and all that. Remember, David said that he said to Joab, and he said to all the people, he said, do not act harshly with my son. But then Joab found him hanging in a tree. Remember, it said they slew 20,000 or something that day. David's servants won. David's side won against Israel. And it said the forest devoured more people than the sword. And doesn't that give light? And that hit me right away. That's why he was hanging from the tree, because there was so many issues. They were fighting in a forest. There were World War II battles that I know of that were fought in the forest. What was it called? The Hurtgen Forest, the States against the Germans. Anyways, that's that. I wanted to say that. I love David because, and you see, Absalom got mad, okay, at the injustice of David. But it was just the opposite. That he was like Jesus Christ, okay? That's why David was loved so much, because he had a lot of mercy, a lot of forgiveness. But he of course had his limits on certain things, but he was a very loving person, and that's why I changed the name of my channel to The Heart of David. I don't lie. I'm going to tell you after a sip and a breath what I think. And I don't do these types of things, but I've watched both channels, and I watch one of those channels right now. Pardon me. The first and foremost thing is, why are you putting everywhere in your title, chosen one, chosen one? I see that all over the place. You know, the Bible, you know, it says, what does it say? You know, few are chosen. I forget the very verse. That's right. I know my Bible, but I forget that. But few are chosen. Very few people are chosen. And what that means is to be born again, a born again Christian. You can read that in John 3:3. You will not see the kingdom of heaven unless you are born again. And so you're writing in your titles, chosen ones, chosen ones. Chosen means you're chosen by God. Now, I'm going to give my diagnostics, my synopsis of what I see with both. I guess I'll start with Marc. I've seen you like right from the start, and like okay, you're one who should know more than Terry. Okay, chosen ones. I don't know why you write that to me. If you ask me, that's a clickbait title, because you know, when other Christians are looking at that and they're on their journey, they look at that and they may be persuaded away from that. And, you know, there may be like a sense of I'm better, okay? That's what I see. Look at my last video. It says, stop doing it. I don't understand it. Like, yes, it says there are the elect. Yes, God has chosen some people. And you know, they talk about predestination, all that stuff. Listen, only you can go towards God, and then God will draw himself towards you. But, you know, for both of you, I want you to be saved. Marc, I don't know why you're fighting over the internet. You should know a little better than to do that. About stealing names and stuff like that, just let that go. Just let that go. I'm just going to be honest, it seems kind of childish. You should know better. You seem very good with scripture. Listen, I've seen a lot of your videos, and I like a lot of them, and I honestly love you as a brother. I hear the things you have gone through, and I've gone through very terrible things in my life. Okay, Marc? I have. No less than you. When you started making your videos, I saw something that really upset me. When you started making your videos, on your screen you were putting up, okay, the gospel isn't for sale, okay? The gospel isn't for sale. God does not like that. And I just heard you, and it kind of made me angry, because you can feel anger towards me. I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks about me. You just said, I just saw your video quickly, because I watched Terry Joel Jr. for discipline reasons, not for God, for discipline reasons, because I'm a very disciplined person. And so I am, you know, there are videos I watch of Terry's that make me cringe too, okay? And what I mean is, like sometimes he might get like, you know, like you know, like I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger than you. Come at me, come at me. Yes, that's not good. That's not a good thing to show. And but I'll get to Terry anyways. So Marc, on your videos, when, I don't know, maybe like the first year or something, and you know this, you were putting up Cash App, Cash App, Cash App, Cash App. You know, you might give me the scripture that says, the ox, don't muzzle the ox that treads out the grain. Um, if you ask me, if you watch people who do pure people that have good intentions, they don't put Cash App, Cash App. Born again Christians tend to not like that kind of stuff. The gospel isn't for sale. Go read Paul's scripture. It says, we're not peddling the gospel. You can look for that scripture. Pardon me, I'm gonna say, but listen, Mark, your videos are good. I like your videos. But in a video, I'll tell you something that I saw, and there's probably stuff in mine that you like, that you don't like, but I'm evolving, okay? I don't believe in lying, and a born-again Christian will not lie. They won't. They'll feel very convicted if they do. That I saw another person who was talking about you on another channel, and they said something that you said that was incorrect about the Bible. You were talking about all the way to, you're going back to Cain and Abel, and you're like, oh yeah, the narcissistic women were back then too, and that's the way it must have been. I forget exactly what it was, but what you were doing there was you were fitting scripture where there was none. That's what you did. I didn't like that, to tell you the truth. I felt turned off by that. And why? Because it starts passing on to other people. You were starting to say stuff in the Bible that was not there. It wasn't that many videos ago. And listen, I'm about love and about doing well. You said that, those who are chosen, will lose everything. And I am born again, okay? I remember the very day I was born again. I already loved God, but I was truly born again, so I know what that is. Look, I have my place here. I have my own business. I have family. I didn't lose everything, but I understand what you mean by that. Like, you're alone a lot because you want to be alone. You want to be around people who are like-minded. You don't want to be around people that don't have the same light. How can light walk with darkness, right? And the reason I'm being a little harder on you is because you should know better. And Mark, I love you. I've seen your videos, and I know and I understand where you came up from and stuff, and that's awesome, man. But if you're gonna, don't put stuff that's not in scripture, because that goes, look at how many people, look how many subscribers you have. You have what, 10 times as many as Terry? And it doesn't even matter about that. You have a lot of responsibility to not fit in stuff that isn't there. Anyways, let's move on to Terry. Terry, I've been watching your videos for I don't know, at least 2.5 years, and I understand where you come from. Excuse me, I have a very similar story to yours. I remember you said that tarot, you found out that a girl had been doing something behind your back by something like that. You had a video a long time ago that said that, and something very similar happened to me. And if you're listening, Mark, no, I don't watch tarot. It was something like quite some time ago. It's been quite a journey for me. I'm also Canadian, Terry. I love your discipline videos. Like, I watch them, and I get what you mean about who cares about what this person's wearing, that person. Listen, I'm 45 years old. I don't understand why you guys are doing that. You guys are younger though. There's a lot of people out there who have chosen ones written, and you see, when you see that on a screen, you expect to open up your video and someone talk about scripture. Okay, so I have written to you in your videos. By the way, I've prayed for you quite a few times because I pray for people who have big followings, and I do that so they can start talking about God on their channel. And I know you have a certain brand and stuff, and I've heard you mention God, but chosen ones, like the real chosen people are born again Christians. That's what it is. And so, what else would I have to say? I live a life much like you. Like I'm martial arts. I was into that and stuff like that. So I can, these are the types of reasons I watch your videos, because of discipline and stuff like that. But I have to be honest. A chosen one wouldn't speak the way that you're speaking sometimes. Like you're being intimidating to people. You're being intimidating to people and I understand why you're doing it for certain reasons, because I was taken by a narc too, by a covert narcissist, and I know the feelings, and I understand. I've watched your story. I completely, I feel for you. I went through the same thing, but there's sometimes where, you're calling out people to say, yeah, I'll kick the hell out of you, man, and do this. Come, I dare you. Like, that's how people get killed, honestly. And what was it, a third degree black belt? That doesn't mean anything. Hey, my cousin won the Western Hemisphere Championship for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you and him both could easily still get killed. I would say I'm not going to say don't do anything. Both of you are good guys, and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep your titles if that's what you want to do. But it misleads people. Real chosen ones read the Bible, and that is the truth. I told you I'd tell you the truth. And yeah, so I see the good in both of you. I think, Mark, you're probably a little too hard on Terry. Who cares what he wears and what he sells and that type of stuff? And Mark, you know that, when you watch Terry, he's not. I don't know. Do you read the Bible, Terry? I don't know. You speak of God sometimes, and I hope and pray for people who have channels with a certain amount of followers, because you could have a good influence that way. And I get what you mean, Terry, about the way people are. Like, this is the end. Our society is messed up. I get it. And I hope that the two of you can somehow solve your differences, because that's the way good people would do it, instead of calling over about brands and stuff like that. And there's no reason to act tough over anything. That just shows, to me, that shows some weakness. It's just not necessary. Don't be like other people, because that's what these other people that we don't like are like. Anyways, I'm going to say a prayer for you both. Now you've made me late for my dinner. I hope you watch us, both of you. I have respect for both of you, but Mark, keep the scripture right, man. And Terry, I hope you read the Bible. That's what I hope. God bless.